welcome back, and today's video is going to be a tutorial using drugstore products for the face, well, mostly drugstore products for the face, and then it's also utilizing the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, which I haven't used in quite some time, but I was really excited when I reached out to actually one of my students who I am collabing with in this video. So she's doing a look utilizing the original Naked palette, and so I'm going to do the Naked 3. She is doing a more nighttime appropriate sultry smoky eye, and I'm doing a more midday time appropriate, kind of like a wear to work with an oomph look for the eyes using the Naked 3. So I'm super excited to be collabing with my student. Her name is Breanna, and I will link her channel below. And yeah, she's super amazing. She's very sweet. She's such an amazing person, and she has so much talent. Expect great things from her in the future. So without further ado, I'm just gonna jump right into the video. Okay, so first things first, I am going to pin my hair back because I don't want it to get in my way, because my hair does tend to get in my way quite often. And I'm going to moisturize my skin utilizing the Mercier Flawless Skin Moisture Creme. And because I have got talons, I have to use my knuckles. That's what your knuckles is for those that don't know that reference. I don't know where we were or what happened, but we noticed a lady, best friend and I, noticed a lady who had very long nails. So we were being nosy and we asked her, how do you wipe with those things? Because, I mean, that's the question everybody asks when you have nails that are longer than like a ½ inch over your free edge. So we asked her because we was nosy, and she said, girl, that's what your knuckles is for. And we're just like, that's gross. Alrighty, I moisturized my skin. After my moisturizer, I'm going to then go in with the Urban Decay Slick Setting Makeup Spray. This is not drugstore, obviously, but it does keep the oil from breaking up my foundation throughout the day. And for my primer, I'm going to go in with the NYX Angel Veil. I really like this. I got this one at Ulta. I believe it was just like maybe $4 to $5. And I like it because it's more of a cream. And I'm checking out the ingredients, and there is no dimethicone in it. There is a different type of like a silicone, but it's not that dimethicone, so that's probably why it doesn't break up my foundation. I feel like because I'm so oily that if I use dimethicone, it breaks up my foundation. Awesome. Alrighty, now what am I gonna do? Okay, so I am going to give my skin a little bit of a glow, and I'm using the new True Match Lumi Liquid Glow Illuminator, and this is in the shade, I believe this is gold. Yeah, it's golden. W101 golden. And the trick with this is it sets super fast. So you have to literally put a little bit. I'm just gonna go on like the high points of my face and immediately rub it in. See that? Ooh, difference. Here's this side, and then there's this side. So the foundation that I'm going in with today is pretty sheer, so this is just going to kind of sparkle, and not sparkle, but it's gonna look very lustrous underneath. And I just want that little pop of glow underneath. Still keeping with the summer glowy skin, but we're gonna kick it up a notch. Alrighty, and then for my foundation, I'm missing one. Where did it go? Alrighty, and so for my foundation, I'm actually gonna mix two things. It's gonna be the Maybelline Dream Pure BB. This is a 2% salicylic acid acne treatment, and I'm going in with the True Match Dream Bronze BB cream. So I'm just gonna mix those two and then apply my foundation. So see that, how it matches nicely with my skin. Using a Makeup Geek foundation stippling brush. I'm doing whatever's left over from my finger on my face. Apply. Now, one thing that I have been recently asked by students is that do brushes make all the difference? Like, is it really worth it going from just like a regular like cosmetic, the white cosmetic wedges that they sell like in a 10-pack at your local drugstore or just a local Walmart or Target for like $2? Like, is it really a big difference? And the answer is yes, it really is. I like using for my liquid foundations more of like a flat top kabuki. I have a bunch of them over anything else. If I really want just like kind of a heavier coverage, I'll go in with something more of like a paddle, a flat paddle brush, something more like this. If I want like to maximize my coverage, I'll go in with something like that. But I think brushes just help just distribute the product a little bit better, and it doesn't make them as heavy or as cakey. It gives you a little bit more control over where you're putting the coverage. And for flat tops like this, because they are so dense, you can actually like really push the product in to give you maximum coverage, or you can, like what I do is I just buff it into my skin so that way just it looks even and flawless. And just drag it down. Alrighty, so for my under eye concealer, I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD Concealer, and this is in the shade Creamy Beige. And I am just going to place that under my eyes. Now, I didn't like squeeze this or anything. This is just leftover product, because I do think this can get a little bit heavy if you just over apply. I'm just going to squeeze it a little bit more. Ooh, I did too much. And I'm going to take that on the forehead, down my nose, on my cupid's bow, and then a little bit right by my jawline, just like that. And this you can get online at lagirl.com, or you can get this off of Morphe. I believe that's where I ordered this from. Yes, I ordered this off of Morphe.com. And I believe it's like $2.99, so it's like super cheap, really, really good. And I'm going to take my Morphe G6, and I'm going to actually spray it with the Makeup Extender Spray. And I'm going to blend it in. And I'm patting in and out. You can hear my cat meowing. He does not like locked doors. He hates it. He likes to be able to roam. No, I usually use my MAC Fix Plus, but I recently have been using the L'Oreal Infallible spray to use because it's more of a setting. This is like a legit like setting spray, like, and it helps extend the life. It buffs and blends, or it just places the product like so nicely, and I don't feel it like get super like runny or anything. I feel just like when I use the Fix Plus that it gets too dewy, so I'm like almost super oily in that area. Not with this one now. Alrighty, now that we have highlighted our face, I am going to contour, and I'm using the NYX Wonder Stick, and this is, I believe, in medium. Yep, medium. I'm going to use the contour shade, and I'm going to start from kind of like an angle from the top of my ear. I'm actually going to drop this down, and I'm going to swoop it into my cheek like that. Go down and swoop. It's really, really light. That's why I like this. So drop it down and swoop. Just like that. Swoop a little more. There we go. I'm going to then put that on around the hairline. Contour my nose with this. Okay, and then I'm going to take my Sedona Lace 520. It's an angled kabuki to blend that in. I have to readjust my clips right now. I'm just going to use the very tip of the angle to blend in my nose. So we've done that, and now I'm going to go into my brows, and I'm going to be using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I have really been loving this. I've been reaching for this a lot more. I haven't used my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I think it's just as good. The only thing is that I noticed that like if I sweat or if it's like kind of like dewy outside, because we've had a little bit of humidity recently, that this doesn't last as long as Anastasia. So that's, but there is a huge price difference. I think this was only like $3, $4. And Anastasia, I believe, is anywhere from 18 to 21. I can't remember what the price is, but I mean, Anastasia's are pretty pricey. So because this is more daytime, I'm not really going to do a huge bold brow. I'm just going to do it, all I'm doing is just filling it in. I'm going to do like to really edge out that lower part of the brow so that way I have like my arch before I fill it in. Yay. And this color, this one's in the shade Brunette, and this is actually the perfect shade for my eyebrows, especially like because my hair is a little bit lighter, so I don't actually have to use 2 different brow wizzes, which is amazing, because I mean, having to buy 2 brow wizzes is, I guess, expensive. So now I'm taking a little bit more of that LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I guess I could have just used the brush, but I have this weird thing about being like ultra super precise, and this is really starting to tick me off. There we go. Probably could have used a little bit less, but oh well. And I'm taking this small angled brush. This was actually a gift from Black Friday, I think, from Morphe. They had a Black Friday event last year, and they were giving out free gifts. So this came in a little brush set, and I gave the rest of them to my daughter, but I kept this one because I really liked it. And so all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to clean up and highlight that brow. And I'm just going to blend it in with a deluxe crease brush from Real Techniques. Just like that. Oops, wrong brush. I mean, this is a little bit more complex than my other tutorials, but you know, sometimes you just wake up and you just want to have just like a on point makeup day. So this was perfect for those days. There we go, awesome. So I'm actually going to take a break from the face, and I'm going to just go into my eyes. And for my primer, I'm using the Smashbox 24-hour Photo Finish Eyeshadow Primer. I believe I used this in my last video too. It's been really nice to use this over my MAC Prep and Prime because I just felt like it was just same old, and I want to try to keep it changing on my channel. Awesome. So now I'm going to set that. I'm going to take my Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, and on a Sigma E35, I'm going to take the shade Limit, and I'm going to take that all over the lid to set the eyeshadow primer. I also want to take that just below that brow bone, because this is going to create a nice buffer for our transition colors. So think of this as like the first layer of the transition shade as well. Now taking a Sigma E25, I'm going to go into the shade Nooner, and I'm really going to concentrate that on that center crease. A little dusty. I like using the E25 because it really does concentrate the product in that area that you want it, but it also does allow you to blend. Actually, you know what? So instead of going down, I'm actually going to flick it. So all I'm doing is I'm going in my light crease, and then I'm just going to flick it towards my eyebrow. Okay, now I'm going to take no additional product, that Sigma E35 that I used Limit with, and I'm going to now just in circular motions. I'm going to buff out any areas that I think is still too harsh and it isn't buffing, or it's not smooth or blended, blown out enough. There you go. Okay. Yay. So now I'm going to take my Sigma E40 and I'm going to go into the shade Factory. It's right, yep, Factory. It's right there. And I'm going to deepen up that crease. I actually really like layering shadows on top of shadows. I feel like every time I layer and just layer, it just kind of blends in a little bit more. Now I'm going to take a MAC 242 and I'm going to use the shade Buzz. I'm going to apply that all over the lid, making sure I'm not going past that crease. I'm just really concentrating it on to intensify that center lid shade. So as you can see, I got a little bit of fallout, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a brush and just flick it off. Actually, I'm not really liking the way that center lid is looking. So I'm going to go into Colourpop Sequin. That's what that looks like. And I'm just going to use my my ring finger and I'm going to dab that in its place. Much better. And all that did really, because it's the same rose gold, but it just kind of intensified it a little bit more to the intensity that I wanted. Now, if you're not like a glitter or shimmery person, you don't have to take that extra step. So that's totally up to you. But I like a little bit of sparkle here and there, so. So I'm going to now blend in, where'd that shaker? I'm gonna blend in with that 242, back in with Buzz, and I'm just going to just like lightly, just kind of like zigzag it where Trick and Sequin meet Buzz, so that way it just blends in nicely. Now, no additional product, taking that Sigma E40 and I'm just going back in and just defining that crease just a little bit more, so that way no shimmer. If there was a little bit of shimmer, this will kind of cover it and mask it, kind of tones it down a little bit. So I'm going to move on back to my face. To set my under eye concealer, my under eye concealer actually hasn't moved, but I'm going to go in with the MAC CC Prep+Prime Color Correcting Powder, and this is the yellow shade. Actually, I haven't used this in quite some time. And I'm going to pat that in place. It's really similar to like an Anastasia banana powder or like a Ben Nye banana powder. This is just MAC, but it brightens up that under eye. And it's not like an HD powder either, so it's not gonna have any like real bad flashback. Sometimes with the HD powders, I notice that there's some flashback and it looks kind of funky. And the center of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, chin. Now, I'm not really gonna bake per se, but I am just gonna go in and just kind of define that a little bit more. So I'm gonna go in with bronzer in just a little bit. For my bronzer, I am using the New York Color Sun and Bronze Bronzing Powder in Montauk Bronze. And I'm going to use my Real Techniques multitask brush. I'm just going to bronze up my face. For blush, I'm going to be using my Morphe 9B palette. And I'm going to take, this center shade right here. It looks a little bit darker, like more subdued on a camera, but it's actually like a peachy, I'll just swatch it for you. It is a peachy pink, really soft, real smooth and buttery, so I'm gonna go in with this color right here. And I'm taking that on a Real Techniques blush brush. I'm just gonna take that in. And these blushes are super, super pigmented, so like, you have to have a really light hand, because if not you end up like with 80s cheeks. I actually did an 80s look and I utilized this bright red. It is like an orangey red It was really pretty, and I really went to town with it. It looks really cool. At least I think so. It's up on my Instagram if you haven't seen it. So one good part about working at a beauty school, being an instructor there, you get to dress up and do a bunch of crazy things. Alrighty. And for my highlight, I'm going to use the new True Match Lumi Powder Glow Illuminator, and this is in the shade Golden as well, right? Yeah, this is in the shade Golden. And I was looking up on Instagram today, and not a lot of people liked it. I used it today, and it was really glowy, but I can see why they wouldn't really like it. It is super glittery. Oh, I see why they didn't. I didn't use as much earlier today, and I think I tapped it in with my fingers. It gets everywhere. So I can see why they were saying that. It does really get everywhere. But it is super glowy though. I don't know, guys. I'm on the fence about this guy. It does get everywhere though. I have it like all over here and like all up in this area, but it's so pretty. Like, this is glow factor to the max. Like, I don't have champagne pop yet, but I'm gonna get it. But I mean, come on. That's pretty freaking intense. I'm just gonna, but I don't know. I'm on the fence about this one. Okay, so now that I've set everything, I'm gonna go back into my Naked 3 and I'm gonna take the shade Nooner again. Taking it on the Sigma E20, I'm going to run that on the lower lash line. Okay, now I'm going to take a the Sigma E15, it's a flat definer, and I'm going to go into the shade Factory. I'm going to go into the shade Factory, and I'm going to run that super close to that lower lash line. I'm actually only going to concentrate it on that middle to outer corner. I don't know why my mouth's always open, but I remember watching an episode of Full House, and I think it was when DJ and Kimmy were like learning how to do makeup or something, but they're like, assume the position, and then they started doing like eyeliner or mascara. I can't remember which of the two, but that's always what I think about when my mouth drops open and I catch myself. Yes. Alrighty, now I'm gonna take my Morphe N515, and this is a super itty bitty teeny tiny little, this is their detailer. I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Dust. It's a very shimmery ballerina pink, and actually I'm going to mix it with Strange first, which is like a MAC, kind of like a MAC Vanilla. Put that in that inner corner, and then layer it with Dust. If Tinkerbell made eyeshadow, this is what it would look like, just like Dust, because it is pink, a light, like I said, light ballerina pink, but it is super glittery. Don't normally do glittery inner corners, but I am today. Any excess, I'm just going to tap away, okay. I'm curling my eyelashes. For mascara, I'm gonna use the Maybelline Lash Sensational Full Fan Effect mascara. This is in Blackest Black, I believe, or Dramatic Black, I can't remember. I have been loving this. This is one of the only drugstore mascaras that I have purchased that doesn't irritate the living daylights out of my eyes. I'm just sloppily coating them with mascara because I'm going to go in with false lashes, but I do want them to be somewhat curly. I'm going to do the same thing to my bottom lashes, add some mascara. Now I actually want to define my nose a little bit. I'm going to go back in with the New York Color or NYC Sun and Bronze, and I'm gonna take this one. It's a little bit more gray. I'm gonna take that on an e.l.f. contour brush, and I'm going to just redefine my nose. I'm just using a really light hand to apply that on my nose, just to slim it. Awesome. Now I'm actually going to slim up my nostrils just because I feel like they've been a little bit big lately. And for my lips, I'm going in with the Colourpop Lippy Stick, and this is in the shade Lumiere, and it's a really pretty mauve-y lip color, but it always turns up so much brighter on camera. Honestly, this glides on like butter. Alrighty, now for false lashes. So for false lashes, I'm going to go in with the Ardell Curvy Lashes, and these are 410s. So I like these because they have a little bit of like a flick at the end, which actually I should probably do my liner first. Getting ahead of myself. So for my liner, I'm taking the e.l.f. cream liner. And this is just their black one. It looks like this. And I'm taking the Real Techniques fine liner brush. I'm going to start at the lower lash line and I'm going to flick that up and I'm going to drag that in. I've been trying to be really good about not pulling my eye. It's just not working. There we go. Much better. Honestly, I think this is drying out. I've actually had this for about 2 years now, and I mean, it's still going strong. I actually prefer this over my MAC one. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to then bring that in. Now we go in with false lashes. So using the Ardell Curvy Lashes, I'm going to, anytime that I take a lash, I always grab them and then I just kind of wiggle them so that way they don't lose its shape. And then I'm just going to take my Duo Lash Glue, let that sit for about 20 seconds. Now when I do this, I actually look down on my mirror. So that's why you see me kind of like this, because I'm looking down on my mirror. And then I will just tuck in those corners. Do the same thing to the other side. Apply my lash glue, let that set for a few seconds, wave it around, place that in the center lid, and then just tuck in my corners. So once I've tucked in those corners, I'll actually go in and like kind of push that in, and then I will use my tweezers to get them as close to that upper lash line as possible. Okay, one side always turns out better than the other. Okay, now to line the lower lashes, I'm going to go in with the Milani Liquid Eye Liquid Like Eyeliner Pencil. And this is in the shade Purple. Alrighty, so that does it for this tutorial. If you want to see more looks like this using just like one specific palette, please leave it down in the comment box below. Also check out Breanna's channel. It's also, I will link it below as well. And have a good evening, day, whatever it is that you're having, and I will see you soon. Bye!